What's up guys, my name is Zero Heroes and welcome back to more Call Term Gates of Hell, and today we're going to be doing a full review, breakdown and final verdict of this new game mode, Domination. I think it's called Domination, yeah. So this is actually a pre-recorded session that I did by myself, and I was playing actually on the new 2v2 Suburbs map, so I wasn't the best at this map and I was still kind of learning the curves, and I was still learning all the, where to place my troops and kind of learning the map basically. So if you do kind of find me playing badly, then it's still me learning the map. Now today I'm going to be basically going through the points of, is this new Domination mode worth it? Is it worth your time playing? And is it a good game mode? And also I'll be answering a few questions. Is it worth your time playing? And is it worth buying Call to Arms to even play this game mode? And is it better? Also, another question I'm going to be answering for you is it better than the other game modes that are currently in Gates of Hell? So these are going to be the things that I'm going to be running down today while we have some background gameplay for you. So I was playing as the Germans, and I was trying to get some nice thumbnails as well. But I was playing as the Germans, and I had AI help. Just to give you show you a background what it's like playing with the AI against two other veteran AI. So I had a friendly AI veteran against two Russian AI veterans. So it's going to be showing you of what it's like for an ally veteran on your team, and it also shows you what it's like against the AI veteran in this new type of game mode. So I have to say, let's start off with the AI itself as well. Now the AI, as you can see, are actually quite clever. They've definitely improved in this new update, because as you can see that they've brought out a couple tanks in this, as you can see in the background, and they've deployed smoke, so it's very hard for us to see it and to actually pass through this section. And it is just, honestly, the AI have really just improved. I'd say the AI pathing haven't improved. But yeah, also I do apologize for the quality of this. I know it's not the best, but this was a pre-recording, so it's not exactly going to be the best of quality. But as you can see that, first of all, I want to talk about the map itself. This map does actually look a really, really cool map. I can tell this map is going to be a very close kind of your very much city map. So it's going to be mainly based in kind of in the town, where it's going to be main of the fights. As you can see, unfortunately my kind of game lags out at this part, but because there is a lot going on. But as you can see that in the city parts, that's where most of the action were happening, and as you can see on the minimap, on the left, on the right is probably going to be your opportunities to flank round and try and get your enemies from the rear. And that's AI just bring out a supply AA truck just being stupid. But you know how it is. So at this point I bring an AT gun, kind of, because in this position we do kind of have the hill. We're kind of top of a hill on a slight slant up, so we do have the hill advantage. But as you can see, I'm just trying to get an AT gun, trying to take out most of the tanks in this position. But I have to see in this position that we do have the advantage, of course. And the whole point of this game mode is that you're trying to basically cause less deaths on your side. So you're basically your objective is to try and cause the least amount of deaths in your team, and basically cause more damage on the enemy team. And the way the point system works, where as you can see the points are going up, so in this game I set it to 600 just so you get a good idea of what is of this battle. So the way the points are going up just now is based on how many kills you get. It's actually not based on whether you capture any points or anything. It's not like that. It's based on how many kills you get. And this is why this is one kind of part where I don't really like this Domination game mode, is that why I understand they're trying to make it different. This Domination game mode, they're different to other game modes, because the other game modes are based on capture points, where you have to capture point A and point B to get the points. But in this game mode, it's based on how many enemies you kill. And as you can see, we've gone up to 114, the enemies are 98, so it is actually still a pretty close game just now. And as you can see, I'm just moving my AT gun to try and get a better view of the tank, that BT tank. And you can see the AI are doing great help. They're kind of trying to push up. But at this point, as you can see on the mini map, let me just pause it right here. that, as you can see on the minimap, I'll try and zoom in for you, but as you can see there's the way that they try and encourage you to try and, you know, attack is that there's these points that you can capture. As you can see in the minimap, there's a little white circle, a white square that you should see. I'll zoom in, of course, and you have to capture those points, and basically those, or capture those areas, and those areas will, if you capture them, they'll give you more points to spend on your troops and all that. So it gives you an incentive to try and attack as well, which they did kind of explain in the update. So, but this is very much a camping mode, because the main aim is to try and cause the least amount of deaths as possible while defending your main capture point, which, as you can see on the minimap, is your 2. As you can see, is that if I pause it right here, so this is my, I'll try and get a better try and get a better view of that. I was just trying to sort out my troops. So as you can see, this kind of white circle here is my capture point. That's my main, that's basically my post, my front post, where I have to defend it, and if I lose that, then I lose the game. And the same goes for the enemy team as well, is that they have a front post and they have to try and defend it as well. Now, and if those 2 points are ever captured, that means they lose. I really don't, there's some negatives I have to say about this game mode, is that I'll first go into negatives and then the positives. So the negatives of this game is that this is very much, and I'll still say to this, that and I was right on my prediction that this is very much a campy kind of game mode. So as you can see actually right here, that this is kind of a point where you can capture, so an area where you can capture, and if you capture it, that means you get more points. I'm sorry, my kind of camera froze there, but if you capture this area, you get more points to spend on whatever, for more troops and all that. And one negative point is that it's very much a campy game. It is very, very much a campy game. As you can see, I've barely moved my troops or any of my tanks out of the spawn point. It just promotes campiness. It promotes just you defending the whole game. And this is how, by the way, I've played this game mode a couple times just to get used to hanging things, just to see how the game mode works and everything. And it's very much just a defending type of game mode. It's very much that if I've been actually in a game mode in this type of game where I was just defending the whole time, and I won just based off defending, and the AI just come at you, attacking, trying to capture your points, which to us doesn't make, again, sorry for the game lagging here, there was a lot going on, but it's just very much just a lag. It's very much just a defending game, and you can win based off this tactics, and I don't like that. I just think this is just a very much just a campy mode. And of course you can, this was me actually now trying to attack, where you have to try and capture. So this, you can see me, you can see me trying to capture the game, capture this, you know, this point. So that is very much kind of the attacking side of things, where you do have to attack. But I just don't like this game mode, where it's very much just still just an attack, just very much a campy defending point, which is just a defending game mode, or campy game mode, which doesn't, to us, it doesn't look good. And it just, I to us would rather play another game mode where you have to defend and kind of attack as well. So I just don't, I like the idea of this. They're trying to work the Call to Arms or Gates of Hell are trying to kind of change the point system on the way you win and the way you have to try and defend, but it's just very much just a campy defending game mode, which doesn't really feel any good. Because if you're in a PvP, then it could be very much just you two, just two players just trying to just play the defending game mode, and it's just no one's gonna ever win by just doing this. It's just gonna, and there's gonna be no points accumulated, and it's just not gonna win. But luckily, it's actually more fun when you play with this with an AI, because the AI actually try and attack you, and it's more fun that way. And as you can see, in this case, that the AI do actually take out my tanks. They're actually playing quite well in this case. And as you can see, the points are actually pretty close. I mean, we're about 300 points, and the AI are about 220. And there goes my tank for. There you go. So as you can see, the AI are actually, they have got smarter. There's a lot of things being added into this. But as you can see, it's just very much just also another negative I do have to say about this is just that don't worry, these are, the negatives aren't as bad, the positives outweigh the negative. Another negative, so that was kind of like the first negative. The second negative point, I have to say, which I only have 2 negative points. The second negative point is that why is the points based off kills? I understand why they're trying to, the way that they wanted this game mode is that they're trying to change it and make it different from other game modes. I understand that, and they didn't want it to just be based off, again, kind of based off capture points, because you can't do this in this game mode. You can't get points. You can't get points based off capturing an area, because there are areas to capture, but that won't get you points. It'll just give you resources to get you more infantry. But I just don't know if I'll get used to this. I like the idea of it, of trying to change it from other game modes so it's not very much just the same of it, but I just don't know if I don't know if it'll probably get me some time to get used to it, because well, see, by the time you might have killed like 200 troops, the game is over so quickly, and it's just quite an abrupt ending, and I don't know if I like that. But I have to say, I understand why they've done it and why they had to make this change. But a lot of people do like this. I've read a lot of people do actually like this change, but I don't know, personally for me, I just don't know. It'll probably take some time to get used to this, but I don't know. I still feel like that it's a negative, and it's just the game ends too quickly based on this system where you get points based off killing enemies, because the AI just rush at you, and then by the time you've 5 minutes into the game, it's just the game is over. Although this game was a 15-minute battle, roughly, it still just feel like it's just short. It's just not really balanced, if you know what I mean, because the AI just rush at you and you're not rushing at them, and you're just camping just to accumulate points just to win. I mean, it just doesn't seem fair. Whereas if you go for like a capture the flag or something, where you and the AI have to capture a flag to basically get points in, it's more of a balanced system that way. But again, I understand why Barbed Wire Studios are doing it, and you can hear the T-70 going off like crazy. But that is really the 2 negative points I really want to make. So let's now go into the positives of this game mode, on what I really like of it. So the positives is that I really like the fact that the point system. I know I've just talked about it, but the point system, I'm very imbalanced. So I like it, but I don't like it. I like it because it's completely different, and it's completely new to the system, where it'll take some time for people to get used to, but I guarantee it's just really is a fun way of accumulating points, and it's just completely different. At first, when I first played this game mode, I didn't quite understand how I was getting the points, but after a while I started to understand that the only way you get points is by killing the enemy, and I kind of like this system as well. And I know that you're probably thinking, well, you just said it's a bad thing. I know, but I kind of like it as well, because again, it's a new system. It's a new way of Barbed Wire Studios kind of bringing into the system. They're trying to bring in new tactics, new I don't know the right word for it, but they're bringing new kind of new things into the game, new tactics, basically. I don't know the right word for it, but you know what I mean. That it is really just, I really kind of like this as well, but I'm imbalanced. I'm imbalanced about this. Second positive point I really like about this is that I really like the fact that you have to try and go out there as well to try and be an attack. As much as this is kind of like a defensive, campy kind of game mode, but I also like the fact that you have to try and go out and capture points as well, because if you just defend the whole time, it's going to take you a long time to kind of send out troops, and it's just going to take longer to buy more stuff. So the fact that you can go out and try and capture points as well, or capture areas to get points for your units and all that, makes it kind of shows the offensive side of this game mode, and actually makes it kind of a fun game mode, because you're both kind of contesting for it, and it's kind of like capturing a area where you have to try and get points for, you know, not the points for units, but the points for up at the top of the screen right now. So it's actually really like a good kind of fun way of kind of an offensive side of things, that it is really good. And yeah, there's you go, me again trying to get more thumbnails, but nope, I decided that this one is actually looking better a better thumbnail. So there you go, got my thumbnail. But I really like the kind of the offensive side of things too. Another thing I do also like about this, another positive, is how the AI, again, I've said about the AI, how much they've improved, and I really like it. And I still think there's a lot of work to do with the AI, especially their AI pathing is still terrible, as I run over my own guy almost. And 3, 2, 1, I'm about to run over my own guy, and I tried, by the way, I was concentrating too much on the tank that I just run over my own guy. But yeah, so I like the fact that AI kind of now throw smoke. They're tactical about certain things about capturing points. So when they're attacking, they throw smoke to try and conceal them, which is a really smart way, kind of like a player would do it. And there goes the T-70, nice explosion, which kind of lags up my game. But as you can see, the AI are always there to kind of capture the points first. So it's kind of, it's another positive that the AI will always go for the kind of capturing the area first. So that means that you have to try and so that means you have to try and capture that area and try and go for it as well, because that just makes it that competitiveness of trying to get that area first before the AI does. So that is really, really fun. And there we go, kind of like that, I kind of the game is over, and it is a really fun game mode. I have to say, it is really good, and I really love the way Barbed Wire Studios have kind of implemented it into the game. And I wish, I hope to see more kind of game modes, possibly like this, but more of an offensive side to it next time. But overall, my final verdict: what do I think of this game mode? Is it worth it? And should you waste your time? Should you basically put your time into this game mode? Yeah, I think it's actually a really fun game mode. I definitely think it's worth it. I love the new system of this points killing system, where you have to kill the enemies to get the points, and you have to go out and capture the areas to get points to get more units as well. So it's really a fun, a new system. I kind of like the new system, but I still think there's a few negatives out there that just doesn't make this kind of a fun game mode as well. I still think it's very much a 50-50 for me. I mean, out of 10, I have to give it maybe about a 7.5, maybe an 8 out of it, because I still think that there's just it's just this very much campy defensive game mode that I just really don't like about the game. But I also really like it because it's just this new system of kind of killing enemies to get points to win, but also that you have to go out and be offensive as well. That makes this game mode really, really fun, and you have to try and capture it before the AI does, and the AI really do get to that capture point as really quickly as well. So really, really fun game mode, and I definitely recommend playing with some friends or even with the AI, because playing by yourself is just not, to be honest, is lonely. I mean, play by yourself with the AI, but do it with some friends, see how they like it, and then see again. So overall, I really do like this game mode. I'll definitely be maybe doing a live gameplay of it if you want to see that. So if you do, then make sure you leave a comment below and leave a like on this video as well if you want to see a live gameplay of me doing this new domination game mode. But that is it for today, guys. I hope you did enjoy this kind of Inferno Verdict overview of the domination game mode as promised. And yeah, just thank you so much for watching and our support, and I will see you in the next video. See you later, and goodbye.